Welcome to Peter King's training camp tour presented by Die Hard Batteries and Advance Auto Parts. Peter King with NBC Sports here in downtown Cincinnati, the AFC champion Bengals training camp. So a couple of things that I noticed talking to people and watching practice. There's no great concern about Joe Burrow, who's been out for nearly a week after having appendicitis. Look, no one is worried about Joe Burrow playing in a preseason game. In 2 preseasons, Joe Burrow has played a grand total of 3 snaps. If he doesn't play until opening day against the Pittsburgh Steelers, no one here is concerned. So I would expect him to be back for practice fairly soon, but no one here has any concern about Burrow. Number 2, I think one of the things that happens when you get so close, you tend, and not win, you tend to maybe overreact a little bit. But I don't think that the Cincinnati Bengals overreacted when they remade their offensive line. And watching practice out here, you can tell there is a lot on the shoulders of center Ted Karras and right guard Alex Kappa, who come in from Miami and Tampa respectively. Both are former teammates of Tom Brady. Karras told me that there are some apt comparisons between the two guys in terms of their ethos and their toughness. Those guys are vitally important, along with La'el Collins, who comes over from the Cowboys, and he will play one of the tackle spots. So that is something that the Bengals spent a lot of money, but I don't think they overreacted to it after Joe Burrow got sacked 72 times last year in the regular and postseason. And finally, I think you have to question a team's attitude when they come back after a heartbreaking defeat like they had. But I think Jamar Chase said it to me, said it best. He said, look, we accomplished a heck of a lot last year. And, you know, we lost a close game against a great team. And I think particularly the way they lost that game when they were close at the end, I think they take into this season not the crushing disappointment of losing the Super Bowl, but the fact that they breezed through the playoffs, won tough games, and then got to the Super Bowl and just lost to a very good team with a great defensive front. 1 point about fantasy football, and I try to give you one of those in every camp I go to. Look, last year, the end of the season, you saw it. Samaje Perine was on the field instead of Joe Mixon at the big moments of the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that Joe Mixon is going to get his carries and his receptions way up this year because the coaching staff here, particularly Zach Taylor, feels bad about that. But I can tell you this, Joe Mixon will be the workhorse. To me, I don't play fantasy football, but to me, he's got to be a top 5 running back pick in your fantasy league. With the Bengals in Cincinnati, I'm Peter King.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.